Somewhere in America right now, a college student is about to make $500. All they had to do was let a stranger use their bank account. They didn't ask questions because the money showed up fast, and it felt harmless. 3 weeks later, federal agents were knocking on their family's front door. That student wasn't a criminal. They were just broke and a little curious. That's how easy it is to become part of something much bigger than you. Today, we're talking about how dirty money becomes clean, one step at a time. And by the end, you'll understand why this system touches more lives than you think. Most people think money laundering only happens in movies, cartels, briefcases, dramatic stuff. In reality, it happens inside ordinary businesses, ordinary banks, ordinary neighborhoods. It hides inside nail salons, car washes, the small restaurant you drive past every single day. We assume criminals are careless, loud, easy to spot in a crowd. But the smartest ones look painfully normal. That's exactly the point. The goal isn't to hide the cash, it's to make it look legitimate. And once money looks legitimate, nobody bothers asking where it actually came from. That's the uncomfortable truth hiding underneath every clean bank statement you've ever seen. Think about your own city. How many cash businesses never seem busy, yet somehow their doors stay open year after year, rent fully paid? We rarely ask how that math works, because honestly, it feels rude to ask. But that silence, that social awkwardness, that's exactly what keeps this system running. The United Nations estimates trillions of dollars get laundered globally every single year. Trillions. That number is almost impossible to picture, so let's make it smaller. Every laundering scheme moves through 3 basic stages, no matter how complex it gets. The first is placement, when dirty cash first enters the financial system. This is the riskiest moment, because large cash deposits attract attention fast. So criminals break the money into smaller deposits, just under reporting thresholds. Banks call this structuring, and yes, it's illegal, even if each deposit looks small on its own. Cash-heavy businesses become useful here because nobody questions a busy restaurant's daily earnings. A car wash, a laundromat, a nail salon. They can quietly absorb extra cash. On paper, business is booming, even though half the customers never existed. That's stage 2, laundering. This is where money gets moved again and again to confuse its trail. It bounces between accounts, shell companies, even different countries around the world. A shell company sounds official, sure, but often it has no real employees at all. It might own property, sign invoices, move funds, without ever producing anything real. Layering can involve dozens of transactions spread across weeks, sometimes years. By the time investigators try to trace it, the trail feels almost impossible to follow. Real estate is another favorite tool, especially in cities with expensive housing markets. Buy a condo in cash, resell it, and just like that, the money's clean. Casinos work the same way. Convert cash into chips, cash them back out, and now it looks like ordinary gambling winnings. The final stage is integration, when clean money quietly rejoins everyday life. By now, it looks like salary, investment returns, legitimate business profit. It buys houses, cars, tuition, vacations, just like any honest paycheck would. This is why laundering feels invisible. It hides behind completely ordinary purchases. Back in the 1920s, Al Capone reportedly used laundromats to explain his cash, hence the name. Some historians debate that exact story, but the term stuck around forever after. Decades later, major banks were fined billions for ignoring obvious cartel money flows. These weren't small mistakes. This was money moving through institutions we're all supposed to trust. And it shows just how deeply this problem can embed itself inside the systems we rely on. Here in the United States, forming an anonymous company can take less than an hour. Less than an hour. Certain states let you register a business without ever revealing who actually owns it. That company can then legally buy property, open accounts, sign contracts. And nobody at the bank necessarily knows whose money is actually moving through it. Now, this isn't illegal by itself, which is exactly why it gets exploited. Compliance officers try to catch suspicious patterns, but the sheer volume is overwhelming. Millions of transactions every single day, and most of them look completely ordinary. It's like searching for one grain of sand on an entire beach. That's why regulators focus on patterns instead of chasing every individual transaction. And there's a personal cost to all of this, beyond the abstract crime statistics. When criminals buy real estate with cash, they drive up prices for everyone. That young family struggling to afford a home, they're competing against invisible money. They're not losing to better savers. They're losing to a rigged hidden game. This is why money laundering isn't some distant issue happening only in courtrooms. It quietly shapes rent prices, housing costs, your everyday competition for opportunity. Understanding this doesn't just satisfy curiosity, it explains frustration a lot of people already feel. Suddenly, an abstract crime story connects directly to your own monthly budget struggles. And here's where everyday people get pulled in, often without even realizing what's happening. Scammers post fake job listings, promising easy pay for simple online tasks. The job sounds simple, just receive money, forward it somewhere else. And just like that, that person becomes what investigators quietly call a money mule. Unknowingly, their bank account becomes one tiny piece of someone else's much larger scheme, which is exactly why understanding this stuff isn't just for bankers or lawyers. It's for all of us. Here's the realization that actually matters most. This was never only about criminals. It's about how easily trust can be manufactured inside any system. The same psychology that hides dirty money also shapes your own decisions. We trust things that look normal. We rarely question comfortable routines. That's true for criminals hiding money, and it's true for regular people too. We accept a too-good-to-be-true job offer because we're stressed about rent. We ignore red flags because desperation makes shortcuts look like real opportunities. But understanding how criminals exploit trust, that helps you protect your own financial life. It changes how you see the financial system you interact with every day. Banks aren't perfect, but they exist inside rules designed to catch this behavior. Reporting thresholds, compliance officers, audits, they exist because trust alone was never enough. And knowing this doesn't make you paranoid. It makes you quietly more aware. This pattern shows up far beyond laundering. In everyday scams, in pressure tactics. Investment fraud works the same way, hiding behind official paperwork and confident language. The lesson here isn't fear. It's simply learning to slow down and verify things. That one habit protects you more than any app or password ever could. Awareness becomes a quiet form of financial self-defense, built slowly over time. So, what does this actually mean for someone living an honest life? First, be skeptical of any job that pays well for almost nothing. If someone offers you cash just to use your bank account, that's a warning sign. Second, legitimate income almost always comes with clear, boring paperwork. Real jobs can explain exactly where the money comes from and exactly where it goes. Third, protect your own accounts the way you'd protect your front door key. Never let a stranger use your identity, not even for one simple favor. Fourth, remember, financial literacy is one of the best protections you have. The more you understand how money actually moves, the harder you are to fool. And none of this requires becoming an expert or living in constant fear. It just requires slowing down before you sign anything or share your account details. Fifth, talk about money openly with people you trust instead of staying silent. Silence around money is exactly what lets manipulation and shame grow unchecked. And if a deal ever feels rushed, that urgency is usually the biggest red flag of all. Legitimate opportunities can almost always wait a day for you to think it over. That single day of patience has saved people from decisions they deeply regretted. None of this is meant to make you distrust the world around you. It's meant to help you see it a little more clearly. That's all. At the end of the day, this story was never really about criminals. It's about how easily any of us can get pulled into something bigger. Money doesn't have a memory, but systems do. And awareness protects you. You don't need to become suspicious of everyone and everything around you. You just need to trust your instincts when something feels too easy. Real financial security comes from patience, awareness, and small, consistent, honest choices. It's never about being perfect. It's about staying alert and staying grounded. Progress always beats chasing some imaginary version of perfection. So next time something sounds a little too convenient, pause and ask why. That single pause might just be the smartest financial decision you make all year.